how you doing? It's Brewdog Does Politics, back after, I think it's been a month or so since I did my last video. So apologies for not making regular content. It's been a rough couple of months, to be honest, and I had a family tragedy happen, but I won't go into that because this isn't the main topic of the video that I want to talk about. So as we have been seeing, not only with this pandemic, but it's still continuing on and on into June. It's June the 3rd today. But as we have all seen in America, there has been ongoing protests and police brutality as a result of George Floyd's death at the hands of a policeman who basically murdered him in the street in front of everybody in broad daylight. Had his knee to his neck for about 10 minutes, did not remove his knee, and he was asphyxiated as a result, and I think that he has now been arrested and charged, and rightly so. But it's just all escalated from here, really. I struggle to find the words to just describe what has been going on in America, not just over the past week or so, with regard to these protests and the response by the police, which has been horrific. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen the footage of not just peaceful protesters being assaulted violently, but journalists from, all different media outlets, and, foreign journalists, Australian reporters, cameramen. The BBC was pretty much run down by a riot police guy. They just don't care. I mean, there's a culture within, especially I think American police, where it's just like they hire and recruit these already sort of damaged people who have this penchant for violence and like wanting to hurt people, and they recruit them into this position of protect and serve, i.e. protect the people who are in your community, like look after them. It's like that's their job, like that's what they're meant to be doing, like protecting them from terrorists. But it's just like, no, they're wantonly and brazenly attacking and assaulting American citizens. Like, it's all on camera, we can all see it. It's just brutal, it's disgusting. And I know that I'm saying this, I'm fully aware that I'm saying this from a position of privilege. I'm sat here in my room in the UK, and as a white middle class woman who is very much removed from what is happening in America, but still, like, the outrage is there, the condemnation is there. I'm like absolutely fucking appalled, to be honest. This is not just an issue that's been happening the past week. It's a continuation of a history that has been going on for centuries, ever since slavery ended, ever since the Civil War. People just can't let go of their differences, of their hatred. And it's just been instilled across generations. Like, even not even like overt racism, just even institutionalized racism, where like black people just have to keep putting up with this day after day. It happens on a daily basis. Black people are being victimized on a daily basis They're getting pulled over in their cars, they're getting stopped and searched, they're being assaulted. I can name countless victims, black victims of police brutality and just victims of disgusting racism that is just continuing. It's just a disease that will not go away. And I'm amazed that black communities have been able to put up with this for so long. For so long. Year after year after year, report after report, you know, people getting shot in their own homes for no reason other than being black. It's vile. I mean, I just, how can you deal with this? It's just, it's disgusting. This has to stop. And the actions of the American president, it's just, I mean, again, he's just a symptom of this problem. He has been born out of this because of the, you know, constant distemper and need for some sort of change. I know everybody's unhappy with the way the world is. Like, people want change, people want jobs, people just want to live and be able to afford to live. And Donald Trump comes along and gives people reasons why, you know, their life is worth more than somebody else's, and American carnage, I'm going to fix the problem. But instead of fixing the problem, he causes more division, more hatred, more segregation, more alienation, more isolation, more violence, more hatred. Every day that man is in office, it's just a complete fuck you to the Constitution, the democracy, what it means to be an American, what being an American should represent. He doesn't care. Like, he does not genuinely give a fuck about, you know, checks and balances and democracy in America. Period. He just doesn't care. He thinks that I'm the president, I can do what the hell I like, I can make these orders, I can tell people to do these things, I can go out golfing, and I want to go outside with the Bible and stand next to this church and dog whistle to my base, who will, you know, come running when I, you know, hold this symbol up and brandish it like upside down, as if it's like some foreign object. Like, I guarantee you he's never, what? Here's my Bible. This is a Bible. It's a Bible. Sure. What a dog whistle. I mean, in a time of just unprecedented economic damage, we're in the middle of a pandemic. America has over 100,000 deaths to contend with. You've had over 1 million people testing positive for coronavirus. 40 million people are unemployed. There's violence and protests breaking out in the streets. And he is doing a sweet FA to do anything about it. Not even addressing the issues, not willing to address the problem, not even coming close to wanting to unite the nation. And instead, he dog whistles to his voters, he dog whistles to his base. He again invokes Second Amendment people in the speech in the Rose Garden. I want to protect the Second Amendment. What happened to the First Amendment? There's people just outside your house who are peacefully protesting, as is their God-given constitutional right to protest peacefully. their civil right as well, their democratic freedom, and your thugs, because they're the real thugs, your attack dogs are tear gassing them, shooting them with rubber bullets, assaulting them, and moving them off the street just so you can cross the road and walk a few blocks to the church and hold up your disgusting, inappropriate symbol. Here's my Bible. Yeah? What the hell does that mean? What are you trying to achieve? That you're a man of God? I guarantee you've never opened a page of this book to even read a verse, let alone the first page of the New Testament. He was asked once by a reporter what his favourite verse of the Bible was, seeing as he said that the Bible was his favourite book. And he was like, oh, I like all of it. I can't specify a single verse. It's all of it is great. Yeah. Do you think that he's read the Bible? I guarantee you that he's not read a single page. This man is a monster. He's a tyrannical neo-Nazi. He's a wannabe Hitler. I said it. He is a neo-fascist Hitler wannabe. And he thinks he's untouchable. He's completely untouchable. And all the while, the American people are suffering in the streets of pretty much every single state of the country. People are wanting him to do something about this. And he refuses to address it. He refuses, and he just wants to divide and rule like a tin pot dictator. That's who he is. And if he's not going to address it, somebody needs to. We need to have some sort of leadership, not just in America, but around the world. Because this has gone on for far too long. I mean, I watch this from afar, and I do think I'm incredibly lucky to be in my position, in my situation, my circumstances. Mean that, again, I'm like a bit removed from this, but we all need to get involved now in some sort of community action, some sort of campaign, protest. We need to speak up because, the inequalities have reached a peak, and we've turned a blind eye for too long. I admit it myself. Like, I've turned the other way because I don't want to confront that absolute horror that is continuing. Racism is alive and well in America and in the UK and all over the world because of people like Donald Trump who perpetuate that sort of culture and bring out, racists, xenophobes, fascists, KKK members. They bring out the worst in society, and we need to radically change this. Radically. And I hope that this is the penny drop moment that people will see that we need to change, and change for the better. Because this can't go on. This can't go on. We need radical restructures in our institutions, and we need to have conversations with ourselves about how we treat other people, treat other races, treat other cultures. It's not a ladder. Nobody is better than the other. We need to start recognising this. Yeah, I can't really think of what else to say, because, again, we're done talking. We need to do something physically. We need to, for one thing, get that man out of office in November, because there will be you think these are riots now? If Donald Trump isn't taken out of office in November, my God, America is going to descend into a apocalyptic shit show, like the likes of which they've never seen since the Civil War. yeah, that's about it from me. If you've got any comments, I'd love to hear from you. As always, I'll see you soon.